recording. This is recording now as well. They're both recording.
Okay, right. So we'll.
Which camera do you want me to look at? This one, or just look at you?
Yeah, actually, you can put it also on this side, so we don't have to look many sides.
Okay.
What do you think? This is okay? All right. This over away. Yeah. Are we all set?
All set.
Okay. So before we record, I just want to let you know the purpose of this. I am actually creating a list of guests whom I have met and I got influenced. So you qualified for that.
Yeah.
You influenced me 2 times.
Yeah.
Once in Goa and second time here.
Yeah.
And who's like an industry leader and who's having more knowledge than me, who can influence people in my chosen field. So I told you 3 things that I am passionate about. One is the leadership, second is the financial freedom, and third one is the creativity and innovation. And you are expert in, I believe, all of them.
Yeah.
So that qualifies you for that. So I'm going to ask you about your struggles, your vulnerabilities, what you gained out of all the pitfalls that you had in your life.
Yeah.
And so how people can save their time. Is it recording? How do I know?
These 2 are recording.
But how do I know whether this is recording or not?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with this camera?
Yeah, I think you probably have to do QuickTime. Put QuickTime on to record.
QuickTime. So we go to Launchpad. Launchpad.
Yeah.
And where is QuickTime?
No. There. It's in there.
Okay.
Just go on that.
And
then just go.
Oh, see this half.
Oh, that's weird, yeah. So go new movie recording. We like to access camera, okay. Access microphone, okay. There we go, that's us.
Okay.
So now just press record. Okay, done. It's recording.
Alright. So, and then I will ask you some 5 steps to succeed.
Yeah.
Things like that. Okay. And this is one interview. And second interview after attending your session was about an expert guest who's going to speak on my Financial Freedom Hub.
Okay.
So we can take the second interview, but I have to see your time. Whether.
Yeah, I need to because my flight is later.
Oh yeah. So we can't do the second one.
Yeah, we'll do the second one later. Yeah.
Later through Zoom.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay. So this is your 15-minute session.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
this is required,
Yeah.
to align yourself with the guest. So welcome formally Mr. James Taylor to India.
Thank you very much.
Coming to address this session at Public Speakers Association of India, and it's my privilege to host you as a guest in the Financial Freedom Hub, also called Mission Abundance Hub.
Fantastic.
So I want to first understand your journey before you became famous. What was your childhood like? Where were you born, and what were your struggles in the childhood?
Yeah, so I was born in just outside London, England, and then my father's a musician, a professional jazz musician. My grandfather was a musician, and then when I was about 3 years old, we moved to Scotland, to a very rural part, very quiet part of Scotland, because my parents wanted to make sure that I had a good schooling. It was a very safe place to grow up, and so I had a very lucky childhood of that growing up in a beautiful rural location. And then after that, I decided when I was kind of going to school and then decided to go to college, I was starting to be a musician like my father, but I actually found what I really enjoyed most was the business side of things. And so from that point, I started organising concerts, producing concerts. And then when I was about 19, my father had a manager at the time, and he said, I want to change manager, I'm not happy with this manager, would you manage me? So then I started managing my father's career.
Okay.
And from that point, I started managing him, and we signed him a record deal with Sony, and we did some really great things, big tours. And then other musicians, bands started hearing about me, so they started approaching me and saying, can you manage us?
Okay.
As well. So I ended up really becoming an artist manager and looking after careers and working with lots of very successful music artists. And then in about 2010, I could see the music industry was starting to die. The record industry was starting to die. And I knew I was wanting to do something else. And at this point, I went back to almost like university to do my M.B.A. at night school. And I was interested in this kind of online marketing, this marketing space. So I started researching, and the place to really do marketing, online marketing well, was in California.
Okay.
And so I had an opportunity, I got a call one day to move to California to join as vice president of a company that did online education. So it matched two things I love, which is online and education.
Okay.
So I was great, fantastic. So I moved to California, and my role was essentially to help find and recruit and then kind of help market these online schools. And so we launched about 30 of these. It was very successful, grew very, very fast. And as I was building all these schools with this team, I was being asked to go and speak more and more at conferences, to speak about marketing, to speak about subscription sites, to speak about education, learning. And I thought, actually, I'm really enjoying the speaking piece. And then I decided to exit that business, and I had a year where I basically I couldn't really compete directly with that company. So I thought, my wife and I said, let's just go and travel for a year. So we travelled and we explored different places, parts of the world. And during that time I was thinking, well, what's the next chapter in my life? What do I want to do next? And the speaking thing, the idea of speaking. So what do I speak about? What do I speak on? And obviously I've always worked with very creative people. I'm interested in creativity as a topic. So that's the obvious one, creativity. But I could use my marketing experience to help me get speaking gigs. So, and that's kind of what I did. So that's when the transition happened.
Okay.
And then I was very fortunate, or we worked very hard, that I basically went from being completely unknown in the speaking world about 2 years ago to now I give 50 to 70 keynotes a year. In the past 60 days I've done 21 countries.
Wow.
So I've got we grew very, very fast in the speaking business. And now that's what I do. I speak all around the world about creativity and innovation, AI.
Wonderful.
There's not available space. Okay, well, we're still recording here.
Yeah, okay. So, you are self-taught, I believe, or do you have a mentor or a coach?
On speaking?
Yes.
I have many mentors.
Okay.
I think it's really important to have mentors.
All right.
So the first mentor that I really went to on the speaking side was F.R.S.A. And that was really about helping. Actually, the biggest thing, initially I thought I would go to Frederick to ask about how to become understand about creativity speaker. But actually what Frederick opened my mind to was this idea of being a global speaker. And I didn't really think about being a global speaker. And so Frederick and I spoke and shared this idea about being a global speaker, speaking all over the world. I thought, well, this is great, because I love travel, I love this sense of freedom. So that was Frederick, was my initial mentor there. And then I also wanted to learn other parts of because Frederick and I, although we were speaking the same topic, we're very different personalities. We come at it from completely different standpoints. I come at it more from the technology, AI side. He comes at it more from the change, the globalization side. So I thought, I also want to get inputs from other mentors. And I decided to create an online summit called International Speaker Summit, where I just went out and I interviewed lots of speakers about how they built their business, how they approach speaking. And through that, obviously, I learned from interviewed 125 great speakers. And there were a few within there that I took something from. Maybe there was people like Rob Waldo Waldman, who's a former US fighter pilot, and I really liked what he did around his branding. So that was really nice. I like how he's very clear, very crisp, how he understands his branding. But then there were other people that I saw who maybe had something around how they sold. or other people I interviewed who had something special around how they crafted their keynotes. Or others I interviewed who had amazing back-end businesses. They had these other, like consulting and other things. So I've been very, very lucky to have lots of mentors in my time. I've been very fortunate.
Okay, I see. So we can speak to the audience also, you know. So in my personal belief, nobody is a superstar on one night, right? There is this journey. So would you like to explain to the audiences what was your journey like to become what you are today?
Yeah. So I mean, if you go classic hero's journey, every speaker should probably understand about the hero's journey, the circle. If you watch movies like Wizard of Oz, or if you read any Joseph Campbell, or if you watch Star Wars, they often have this journey, the hero's journey. So for me, my kind of, I guess, hero's journey was that first, the call to adventure part was actually way back when I was about 14. I saw a number of speakers I really liked. I saw Tony Robbins. There was things I don't like about Tony's style because it's very American, big, evangelical style. It's not my style, but I loved how he was able to transform people in a room, and I thought that was brilliant. And he could do it at scale, and it was an entertainment side. But then there's another speaker I saw called Edward de Bono, who is this older, almost like a professor, very quiet, speaks very quiet, but he had something that I also like, which is the intellectual side, about really understanding his topic very well. But then, like most people that maybe even see someone or think about as a younger, I'm going to do this, I then didn't do anything about it for many, many years. And it was only when I hit a big birthday, a birthday with a 0 on it, then in that time I mentioned I was making transitions, and I said, okay, now I'm going to build that speaking business. But then the initial thing you start to think of, once you know, okay, I want to speak on this topic, this is what I'm interested in, it's like, well, how do I get known? And a lot of people, and then I think this is kind of goes back to kind of using your background, using your history. So I knew from working with musicians, I understood about marketing, I understood about branding, I understood about live events. I knew those things. But there was other speakers who were much better at me than selling, very good salespeople. I thought, wow, I can't really be dominant there. Or there's other people that are amazing authors. And I said, well, that's not my skill set. I'm not so known for that. So I decided, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to approach the challenge to become a great speaker using online marketing specifically, and using video a lot. And really doubling down on that. Because a lot of speakers, they weren't using video so much, they weren't doing much online marketing. And so that was my thinking about strategy, my kind of approach. I'm going to be dominant on that. And then as I started doing that, I thought, okay, this is interesting, I can use this, but how can I really make it like what we call a marketing campaign, think it like a marketing campaign. And then that's when I started to do what we call building automated marketing campaigns or marketing funnels. And so the way it works now with my team is that every week my team is responsible for finding X hundred number of potential leads, opportunities, and then they enter that into a system, and then that system then starts to reach out to these prospective clients, and then we will convert a certain percentage of them. However, when we started, our conversion rate was really low, really poor. And we're thinking like, what's going on? Why is it so low? Why am I not getting bookings immediately from this? And so we had to spend time on really developing the message for the market. And then we also had to look at the quality of the leads. So a classic example here, is that expression, fish where the fish are. So initially I was going out and saying, okay, I want to speak at any conference, any event, too broad, too big. So then we said, okay, well, let's just focus on a few territories, a few countries. Okay, let's just focus within those countries, a few industries. And once we got really clear on those, that we wanted to go out, then it was taking an approach of, okay, we're going to go for this country, we're going to go for this industry first, let's work on that for the next 3 months. And then we do that one, then we go for the next domino, to drop that next domino. And that's what we did. We started building that, and by focusing on individual industries, individual countries, and building relationships there, it made the conversion rate much better.
Okay.
So that was one of the things that I was starting to learn.
Okay. So how many people work in your team?
I have a team of 6 of us in total.
6 people working full time for you.
We've got 4 of us full time, 2 of us part time.
And what kind of tasks you have delegated to them?
Yeah, so one of my team, she's responsible for all the finance and legal stuff that we do, setting out the contracts and doing that. Another member of my team is responsible for researching opportunities, also some of the customer service that we do. Another member of the team is responsible just for content. So anytime I'm creating any type of video, audio content, he's the person that's editing, uploading, all that stuff. I have another member of my team who is responsible for things like design, any graphics that we do, any ads. And then I have another member of the team that does all the websites and the SEO.
Okay.
So between that's kind of the...
Wonderful. I really like your structure, you know. So you are keeping just the R&D, the content development and the delivery to yourself.
Yes, that's my core.
Wonderful.
That's my core.
So we have to learn from James' experience that anybody who wants to succeed can't do it alone. You need to have a team who's going to help you. And my next question is, you definitely must be having some pit moments in your life. So I would like you to just close your eyes for a moment, go back to your life and let me know the 3 pit moments of your life where you felt you have blocked out, you know, you have no direction. So what kind of feelings were there and how did you come out of it?
Well, there's a number, personal and professional. I would say on the personal side, unfortunately, I lost my youngest brother. He died very young. He was only 21, and so I was 7 years older than him. So whenever you lose a sibling, it makes you reassess your life. It makes you think about what's important. And so that was obviously a dark time. And then, as a family member, you're also supporting your parents because they're going through this massive trauma as well. And so for me, that was a time of, obviously there was trauma there, but there was also a time of reflection and reassessing what was important. So that was quite dark. That was a very difficult period in my life, and my parents' life, my family's life, my wife's life. So that was the first one, and then that was really about assessing what's important and understanding that. And then probably the second time after that was, in terms of dark moments, I would say when I was living in California, the company I was working for there, I really figured out I don't like having a boss. Some people love having a leader to follow and having a boss, and I'm probably not one of those. I like to make my own path and go with that. And so I had, at this time, I had someone I was working alongside who came into that business. He'd just been recently brought into that business, and he was his personality was so toxic to the organisation that myself and other members of the team just decided to leave. And that got me thinking, okay, the importance of culture and the importance of having the right mixture of people. So I know now, when I work with my team, I'm really, really conscious of their workload levels. I'm really conscious of their emotional, where they're at now, other things that are going on in their family life, having that they're happy in their jobs, that they're enjoying their jobs as well. But it was very difficult at that time because essentially by making that decision to say, I'm going to leave this business and come out of this business, it also meant I had to leave a country. Because in America, when you leave a job, if you're not a national of that country, you have to leave the country within 10 days.
I see.
So it was a big decision. But here's the interesting thing that I learned from that is I wasn't particularly happy. There was things that were very good at job, but I was learning lots and I was enjoying some of the people I was working with. But I also, there's that phrase, the word decision, which means from Latin to cut. So once I made a decision that I decided to leave, I put a date on it. I will leave this business in 3 months. My wife and I had a discussion and said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this business in 3 months. We need to start thinking about that. I think sometimes making the decision, the big decision, can be the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've made that decision, then it's just moving into the practicalities of how you execute upon that. So, but I actually think, in my case, what I did, and it sounds really silly now, but I actually had a document.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a certificate.
Mm-hmm.
I will have left this company on this date.
Oh,
and I put it up in my fridge.
I see.
So every day I would see that, and I'd be counting down days leaving. So I'd be at the same time, I was putting in place things, and I was starting other little businesses on the side, talking about passive income, to build those passive income streams. That was fine. So when I left, but that was a big kind of challenge there as well. And then more recently, I would say that there hasn't been any kind of major challenges. I think probably the biggest one is when you have to assess, talking about having a team. There's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, which, if people don't know, Vilfredo Pareto, he was an economist from Italy, basically said that the 80% of your results will come from 20% of your actions. That's so if you do only 20% of the things you do will actually deliver 80% of the results. But actually what most people don't know is 80-20 rule is fractal, which means that it's actually 64-4. So just 4% of the things that you do will deliver 64% of the results. So when I thought about that, and this is coming into a time thing, because I was working a lot, I was doing a lot of stuff trying to build my speaking career, and I had to take a stop and went, what's just the 4%, the 4 things? If I just did these 4 things really well, it would deliver 64% of the results.
96% you mean?
It's 64. 64. 4% will deliver 64% of the results.
And the rest?
I don't care. I've done the 64% of the results. Everything else is much easier. But if I just focus on that those 4 things, that 4% of things I need to focus on. So for me, on the speaking side of the business, it was really, I guess, around 4 things. Content, which is around craft, developing my craft, becoming a better speaker. Every day trying to think how I can become a better speaker. So that includes how you use your body language, how you use your voice, looking after your voice, just crafting a great speech. That's craft. And people like Frederick Harron are brilliant at that. They're really masters at that. That was the first one. The second one was marketing. How you do marketing at scale. And so I got really focused on how we could develop great marketing campaigns for my speaking. And the third one is selling. So there's no point in just you getting all these leads and these inquiries, but if you can't convert them into paid speaking opportunities, in my case, what's the point? So you need to have marketing and sales. They both need to work together. So we got really clear on marketing, really clear on sales, what we were trying to do there. And the final thing was profitability. And I talk about this idea of